The Last of Us was released on June 14th, 2013 to godly scores. I ain't gonna lie, niggas were going crazy for this game. People was praising this game to the point where I got tired of hearing how good this game was. The game was created by Naughty Dog, a company known for the Uncharted series, Jak and Dexter, and Crash Bandicoot. The game was directed by Bruce Stradley, Neil Druckmann, and a lady whose name I cannot find for some reason. These three breathed life into the game. And in return, a very great game was created. Yeah, and if they ever made a sequel, that game is going to be amazing. No doubt. Alright, enough with the backstory. Let's get into the game. Run it! Hey, yo, what is this on my screen right now? Chill with this before niggas' allergies kick in. The game opens up with Joel getting a watch as a birthday gift from his daughter, Sarah, Sam, Samantha, whatever her name is. Oh, this man's got a Rolly Apple Watch. I didn't even know they made these, but he got it though. They then bond while watching TV until Sarah falls asleep and is carried to her bed. Aw, look at how loving they are to each other. I hope nothing happens to Sarah. After a short amount of time, Sarah is woken up by her uncle calling looking for Joel. But the call is cut short when communication gives out. Damn, this game was trying to warn us of the future, but we ain't listen. After witnessing an explosion, Sarah finds Joel, who comes in from outside to retrieve his gun, which he then uses to put down a sick Jimmy Cooper. Who he smoked? Jimmy! I apologize for anyone who takes offense to that. Does not a laughing matter. So all y'all niggas going to hell with me. After explaining a little to Sarah what is happening, Tommy arrives and picks them up, ready to leave town. Along the way, Joe shows how brutal he is when he tells Tommy to not pick up some people that needed help. My man really said fuck them and they kid.
Fuck them kids. Fuck the kids? Yeah.
After witnessing an affected person kill a random driver, Tommy decides to try to take a side street, which ends poorly. Joel is forced to carry Sarah while trying to escape town due to her leg being injured. Damn, hope nothing else bad happens to her. Knew it. I fucking knew it. Yeah, I just want the little girl in the box art, so you had to die. I'm sorry. Sarah was killed by a military soldier. This is what happens when you get rejected for government assistance. After being saved by Tommy, Joel is left to try and fail to save Sarah. And then, title card. I ain't gonna even lie. This is one of the coldest openings to a game that I have ever played. It does an excellent job of letting you know what type of game this is about to be. Oh, also, the intro is basically everything that happens in 2020 and 2021. Minus actually having a vaccine that works. And also more people die in the game than real life. Joe wakes up 20 years later. No, this nigga wasn't in a coma for 20 years. It's just that 20 years has passed. Just so everybody understands, just in case. Answering the door for Tess, who just came from getting jumped by some man who was sent by Robert. A man that both Tess and Joel are after. Tess then discloses that she knows where he is and they have to move fast before he do the dash. Right before they could leave the checkpoint, it is attacked. Damn, someone had the backpack on them and didn't care. Which causes both of them to have to use other, less approved routes. They have to go collect their gear to arm themselves for the trip they're about to take, due to the route being unregulated. The route they take is infected with spores, and Joel has the decision to kill a man who has gotten infected or to conserve ammo. Damn, nigga had a mind-blowing experience. Had to factory reset his soul real quick. At this point in the game, we fight one of the basic enemies in this game called the Runners. These actually aren't the first time we see these type of enemies, the Runners. Hey yo, editor, could you put... Why am I talking like I'm not the one who's gonna be editing this shit? Anyway, yeah, thanks young me. Anyway, these are the stage 1 affected. They still have their eyesight and will run after you on sight. So best to just no, don't get spot. They're the annoying ones of this game. Joel also uses his listening ability, which is vital throughout the game. This nigga's power is to hear where his enemies are. I mean, I guess that's better than nothing. As Joel and Tess near the location of the would-be Robert, they are stopped by some of his goons, in which they take them out. Damn, open up this nigga's third eye with the quickness. Upon arrival to Robert's location, both Tess and Joel are met with hostility. And after a chase, Robert is caught with similar manner. It is explained that Robert owed some guns, but he sold them to someone, but he wouldn't tell until Joe decided to give him a little nudge. Oh, he put a Batman on his ass. I guess he could kiss his dreams of being quarterback goodbye, stating that he paid the debt off with the Fireflies with them. The Fireflies are the resistant fighters, or something like that. I guess, I don't fucking know. He also tries to get the pair to go take the guns from them since they are dropping like flies. Pun Not intended, but the idea was swiftly put down. Before they could come up with a plan on how to get their guns back, Marlene, a melanin queen, also a high-ranking Firefly, well, she could be the leader, wasn't really explained. I'm not gonna look into it further neither, so I don't know what to tell y'all. Tells them that she paid for the weapons and that they are going to have to do something for her, and she would give them the weapons and some more back. But before the talks continue, the trio are forced to flee to a safer place. Arriving at a safe place, they are met and also attacked by Ellie. Marlene says that if they smuggle Ellie to a group of Fireflies out of the city, the weapons and more are theirs. Tess isn't so sure about it. By the sign of good faith, Marlene would lead both her and Tess to where the weapons are, for Tess to inspect them, but she leaves Ellie with Joe since that part of town where they are going isn't somewhere Marlene wants Ellie to be. We also get some background knowledge on Tommy, who was close with Marlene since he used to be a Firefly. Fun fact, I guess. After some bickering, everybody goes their separate ways. Marlene and Tess see the weapons, Joel and Ellie to another safe spot. Upon arriving at the safe spot, Joe takes a nap and leaves Ellie to her own devices. Joe then wakes up a couple of hours later. Ellie then divulges that she hasn't been outside the gates of this area. Joe then asks what the Firefly will want with her. But before he could get an answer, Tess comes in, confirming the weapons, sending the three on their mission. Before their journey could start, they are caught by some guards on patrol. These niggas' sneak level is below sea level. I guess they didn't make a sneak build at all. While getting tested, Ellie freaks out and stabs one of the guards. And that makes him say,
"Nope, can't have that."
And tries to kill her, but Joe and Tess are like,
"Nope, can't have that."
And decides to take them out. After which, they find out that Ellie is infected. She is immune to the infection, but Joe and Tess doesn't believe her. But before they can decide on something, more guards show up and they have to hit the dash. I was going to make a joke here. That was the plan until I decided to run the footage back and seeing that it was a slideshow. So this is just heads up that if some of these parts of this damn video is laggy, I tried my best. I don't know what else to say. Maybe don't look at the screen when it's laggy, but that's like 100% of the time. So we're running back later in the future. I probably will, probably won't. I ain't. Y'all gonna have to deal with that. I'm sorry. Once they get far enough from the guards, Ellie gives the rest of Marlene's plans, which is some doctors that are still looking for a cure. I just realized that the game never gave a name for the infection. Instead, they call each type of infection or infected by a name. Oh, also, these are shift doors, which require you to use an entire shift to access them, but, shift door. But they worth it, since they're usually stuck with some useful components like maybe some health kits, ammo, components, build stuff, stuff like that. Yeah. At this point, the trio is first put against the infamous clicker. Clickers are enemies that can't see, but have exceptional hearing, which leads to them reacting to sound. They are, one-shot enemies, so kill them fast. After surviving the encounter in the skyscraper, upgrading, and then surviving the encounter in a museum, the trio finds the building within eyesight of their location. Opening the door to the state building, they find that their contacts for the Fireflies are all dead. Damn, they walked in expecting a lively group, but instead they walk into the goddamn cemetery. Joe then tries to reason with Tess on why they should just give up and go back, but Tess isn't having it because she's infected. Tess then convinces Joe to take Ellie to Tommy's and give her to him, since he used to be in the Fireflies. But before Joe could argue, more guards show up, making Tess make the decision to stay and stall while Ellie and Joel escape. Damn, left her ass on the ground like 50 Cent and many men. Floating into the subway, Ellie is shown to be able to breathe in the spores without any consequence. Once in a relatively safe place, Joe gives Ellie the rules she must follow if she wants a chance at survival. After this, they start traveling to a nearby town that Bill is currently living in hopes he has a car that they could use. Arriving in the town, Joe steps into a trap, which causes him to have to protect Ellie while he tries to free him. Upon being free, Joel is attacked, but is saved by Bill, who takes them to a safe house. Bill then tells both of them that he doesn't have a car, but he knows where he can find some parts. This leads to everyone leaving and going to get some more gear to prep for the adventure. Also, this nigga Bill gives Joel some advice about working with others. Shit really ain't that important, I just felt like saying something right here. Upon arriving at the destination, the group discovers that the parts that they came for is missing. Shit gone like the fucking wind, no Marshall G. Mueller. While escaping, the trio runs into the last enemy type, which is the bloater. Bloaters are exactly like clickers, except for being way tougher and being able to throw projectiles that do damage. Best way to fight these guys is to use molotovs or flamethrowers. snipers, shotguns, basically anything to keep them at bay. Joel and Bill argue about what they are going to do next, but is interrupted. My fucking goodness! Joel and Bill argue about what they are going to do next, but is interrupted once they both see the hanging body of Frank, the former partner of Bill. Hold up. This nigga gay? Like, I played this game like four or five times over, and while recording for this video, it just hit me that this nigga Bill was gay. Like, did they change the PS4 remaster version and put this in, or was this in the original PS3 version? I can't remember. I didn't know this nigga was gay. That came out so wrong. I didn't mean like that. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm gonna skip over it. As a parting gift to Bill, Frank has taken the parts and have put it in the truck. All that is needed to do is to recharge the battery, which means pushing the truck and trying to get it back alive while fighting off hordes of infected and then escaping. Why this nigga running like the Flash? All good things must come to an end, which is why Bill decides to leave Joel and Ellie and return back home. Flash forces them being on the road and bonding. Was this in the original PS3 version of the game? Because I don't remember them being this heavy-handed with the nigga being gay. I don't think I peeped this. Joe decides to keep moving forward, which causes them to be ambushed by a group and wreck their truck. I ain't gonna lie, this scene is really badass, from the expression on Joe's face on how he about to really kill this nigga with all the hate in his heart, all the way to him pulling up and smashing the other nigga's face into the counter. Just, fucking beautiful. After killing what seems to be a platoon worth of people, being separated from Ellie, and then killing some more people, Joe is caught off guard by an enemy and is almost killed by him, but is saved by Ellie. Okay, Ellie out here just got the headshot and the savior medal, saving Joe right after killing what seems to be the past, present, and future of the Hamilton cast and crew. But on a for real note, how many people is this one nigga about to kill? Like, we easily in the triple digits range now on how many niggas he killed, and we barely halfway through. After saving Joe from a shallow, watery grave, Ellie starts to get first kill tremors, which is quickly shaken off when she argues that Joe should be more grateful and supportive. Joe responds to this by allowing her to snipe off some enemies while he takes some head on. Damn, nigga told her to activate her sniper elite potential. She was out here like, I would show y'all, but you know, it would be too much for y'all. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the footage being choppy as hell. Or not having the footage at all, I can't remember. But it has nothing to do with either excuse. Reason, I mean, not excuse. After getting her first gun, the pair witness the atrocities that the group that they are going against is used to.
Bitch, I make you run. This a blickathon. I can't rate that bitch a 10. I get that bitch a 1. We brought a bigger gun. Ain't no stingy nigga. I'm gon' get your nigga some. Christmas time.
After surviving against the raiders in their death vehicle, Joel and Ellie are attacked by another pair of survivors. These niggas are Wayne bros, and not because they're black, because their brothers are working together to try to survive. I ain't gonna lie, nigga just wanted to play the theme song of. I couldn't find a smooth way to put this in. Fuck it, it's gonna be rough.
I'll be right. I really don't lie. I'll be right. I'll be right. I really don't lie. I'll be right. I'll be right. I really don't lie. I'll be right.
These survivors are called Henry and Sam, and they are on their way to link up with their crew that got split up. So, the most logical thing to do is for both pairs to link up and try to get out together. Hey, look what we got here. A Jack and Dexter and an Uncharted board game. Hey, I'm all for fun Easter eggs in my games. Y'all know that. I hope y'all know that. Well, y'all probably don't know that, since whatever. After getting to Henry's and Sam's safe spot, Henry shares the details of the plan to get across the bridge that is being guarded by the raiders. Ellie and Sam are shown both having a fun time with someone near their age, respectively. Skinny Ethiopian kid gets petite redhead teen to open her mouth wide. Skinny Ethiopian kid gets petite redhead teen to open her mouth wide. I fucked up. After getting past the guarded gate and almost escaping until the ladder which was being used broke, this along with the death machine breathing down their necks leads to Henry and Sam fleeing, which causes Ellie to jump back down and assist Joel on their escape. This leads to the pair jumping off the bridge and being saved later on by Henry. First off, fuck them for leaving. But I understand. Second off, them jumping off the bridge remind me of Rick Ross and that music video. If y'all know what I'm talking about, here you go.
Speeding.
Man, you must be new or something, man. We the best, man.
License and registration.
I'm living life in this fast lane. I love it too much. I won't never go back. So I gotta stay speeding.
After being saved and threatening Henry, the group runs into a destroyed sewer community that is overrun with infected. The group will split up again, this time Henry with Ellie and Joel with Sam. After escaping, the group keeps on moving forward. This level was probably my favorite or second favorite due to the backstory of the place and the brutalness of trying to start a community in the post-apocalypse. The group runs into a sniper, one in which Joel has to take them out, and then use said sniper to cover the group from raiders, infected, and so on. This is actually real nice. The characters are bonding and just chilling together. I hope nothing bad happened. Well, there go the scene in the tenderness. Yeah, Sam got infected, and Henry decides to kill himself. Damn, decides to delete his own save footage. Fall comes, and Ellie and Joel find themselves in Jackson County. Upon arrival at the dam, Joel and Ellie are held up at the front entrance, but is freed thanks to Tommy vouching for them to Maria. Maria is the wife of Tommy, which begs the question that I have, and that is, how does marriage work in the post-apocalypse? Like, do you still need to have a marriage license? Is there still need for an ordained minister or someone of that status? Like a mayor? Or can people just decide that they are married? This is the second biggest thing that I question. The first biggest thing happens later on in the series. And yeah, I have some questions about it. And it might not be received too well. Maria and Ellie go to get something to eat. This leaves Joel and Tommy to talk to each other while they go check on the turbines. Joel explains to Tommy that Ellie is immune to the infection and that he wants Tommy to finish the journey of delivering Ellie. He even says that Tommy could even take the whole payment. But Tommy isn't having that, saying that he has a family to take care of. Joel, not having none of that shit, brings up how he was the one that took care of them and made sure they survived. But Tommy informed Joe that he still had nightmares about it, and before both could come to blows, the base gets attacked. Pushing feelings aside, Joe and Tommy gets to defending the building. If anything, this is a perfect set of circumstances. These niggas was already about to fight each other. Now they have the chance to direct their hostilities onto other people while hurting each other. I had to try it. Oh god, that sounds fucking horrible.
Oh man, they were coming in from every direction. Then Maria was like, we gotta run. And so we dove over these tables and this huge guy blasted with a shotgun.
Slow down. Listen, hey, are you hurt?
No.
After having an argument with Maria, Tommy agrees to take Ellie off his hands. But that is cut short when Ellie takes a horse and runs away. Ellie was like, when I dip, I do the dash. Hey, just for that, hit the subscribe button. I know y'all like that. After surviving the ambush, Joel and Tommy finds Ellie in an abandoned ranch house. In the house, Joel and Ellie has a heart-to-heart, or something of that caliber, with Ellie stating that everyone that she has cared for has died or left her except for Joel. Joel expressing that they have had run-ins with death too many times, and that Ellie being with Tommy would increase the odds of her survival. Tommy comes in and tells them that they have company. After dealing with the ambush, the three of them ride to the settlement that Tommy lives in. Joel asks Tommy how far the labs are, and he responds with the University of Eastern Colorado. I actually binged this. Yes, I said bing. The University of Eastern Colorado. It doesn't exist. I also looked up Jackson County, which is around the top left of Colorado. Long story short, why is the game pushing university to be super far, even though it's still in the same state? Like, motherfuckers went from Boston all the way to Colorado. Like, nigga, what's another couple miles? There wasn't even a point to try to hand Ellie off to Tommy, especially when Joel doesn't even know the location of the lab. Like, I could see him pawning her off if the lab was like in Seattle, Washington, and he knew it, or in like Central America. Oh, and another thing, what was Joel going to do when he got rid of Ellie? Like, the nigga can't even go back to Boston, since he would probably be wanted for killing a bunch of guards. Maybe they found some other safe zones or something? I don't know. Arriving at the university, Joel and Ellie are met with a dead body and a recorder with a message. Simply put, the Fireflies decided to pack up and return to St. Mary's Hospital in Salt Lake City. Anytime the talk is cut short once they are attacked again. I didn't pay much attention the first couple of times that I played this game to realize how many times these motherfuckers are ambushed. Like, this is the 6th time. They rarely fight enemies straight up or have the upper hand. While escaping, Joel is caught lagging, and the consequence is him being impaled. I don't know why, but this This scene reminds me of this scene from Final Fantasy. Just for some reason. Ellie then has to help Joel off the rod and escort him back to the horse, while the pair fight off attacking enemies. Once on the horse and far enough away, Joel collapses off the horse and a time skip occurs. How did this nigga survive that fall from that height? Like, shouldn't he be dead with that fall? Matter of fact, let's forget about that fall. How did Ellie get Joel out that area? Like, did she pick him up? Did she drag him by the horse? I mean, it's not a point of the story, but I would like to know. Ellie is shown hunting for food. Hey yo, I'm gonna be honest, I'm about to flash up this entire Ellie section. Ellie hunts and kills a deer, but before she could do anything with the deer, David and one of his men, James, pop up and they decide to give Ellie medicine for the deer. As Ellie waits with David for James to return, the pair is attacked by infected. After surviving, David shares with Ellie that his men were murdered by a little girl and a man. Ellie, realizing who that was, no face, no case, decides to hold David up. James returns with the medicine, Ellie takes it and dips. Returning back to base, Ellie gives Joel the medicine and goes to sleep watching over him. She wakes up and is forced to run when David's men tracks her down. Lassie, no! After the horse is killed, Ellie takes on some of David's men, but is ultimately captured by David. Joel wakes up weak and then proceeds to kill a bunch of David's men before taking 2 of his soldiers and...
Focus right here. That's alright.
Damn, this nigga Joel is ruthless. Before Ellie could be chopped up, Ellie uses her bite marker as a distraction to kill one of David's men and escape into the whiteout. Before Ellie could escape, David is her final challenge in the form of a boss fight, where she has to stealth strike him 3 times. I'm gonna be honest, this fight is just a shittier version of the Batman Arkham City Mr. Freeze fight, which that fight is fucking god tier, nigga. I don't know how anybody cannot like that fight. Ellie manages to get David's machete and get to work killing him. Joel stops her and embraces her, both leaving the building to burn. Joel and Ellie finally arrive at Salt Lake City, nearing the hospital. Hey look, it's Jeffrey the motherfucking giraffe. He looks like he bounced back since, you know. Joel hits Ellie with you don't have to do this. And Ellie responds that both of them have been through too much and have gone too far to quit now. This, in my personal opinion, is the best gameplay section involving clickers due to the fact that every variant of clickers are here and has to be dealt with. Also, both the flamethrower and molotovs comes in clutch here. Victory is cut short when trying to cross the rest of the tunnel, which has flooded. Why are you trying to save this nigga when you can't swim? Help him by helping yourself. After dragging Ellie out the water, Joel starts to do CPR, mostly
chest compressions, chest compressions, compressions to the chest compression. Sorry.
But before he could bring her back, Joel gets knocked out by a Firefly member. Waking up, Joel finds himself face to face with Marlene, who denies Joel's request to see Ellie due to the fact that she is being prepped for surgery. Not her ACL, now she won't ever be able to hoop. Marlene further explains that the infection in Ellie has mutated, and for them to make a vaccine, they will have to remove the growth from her, which is in her brain. So she has to die. Oh, at least it wasn't her ACL. Granted, she won't be able to hoop or breathe again, but still, at least it wasn't her ACL. Joel, having grown close to Ellie, ain't having it, but Marlene hits him with, that's just how it has to be. Joel doesn't bend to that ideology and is forced at gunpoint to leave. But Joel ain't having that, and decides to go save Ellie, and with some help from a Firefly, goes off to save Ellie. This right here is my favorite part of the game, where we go from feeling like the hunted to being the hunters, slaughtering as many Firefly members as we possibly can. This, and the fact that we get the assault rifle, made this a pretty fun level, I ain't gonna even lie. Entering, Joel finds Ellie, who was about to be operated on, and kills the head doctor along with one of the assistants. The main doctor has to be killed. He ain't even pointed to the story, or the future story, but the 2 assistants can be left alone. I, on the other hand, kill one of them because she used bad language towards Joel. Fuck that bitch. The other one, he was cool, so he got left alone. After escaping the hospital, Joel is stopped by Marlene, who tries to reason with him. But the scene cuts to Ellie waking up in the backseat of a truck being driven by Joel. Joel tells her that the Fireflies had more immune people. Damn. Put a bullet all in her guts, ain't no pulling out. He continues saying that the Fireflies stopped looking for a cure and is taking them home. Cut back to before they left the hospital. Marlene begs for her life, but is denied by the pistol. Not the Melanin Queen. Joel hates black people confirmed. Joel and Ellie make it back to Tommy's community, but before they could enter, Ellie stops Joel and tells him about her best friend Riley that also got bit along with Ellie. That story is further explained in the Left Behind DLC, which I might do later on. Who knows? Joel explains to her that surviving is mostly about having something to fight for. Ellie then cuts him off, asking him to swear to her that everything that he said was the truth. And with a straight face, he swears to her. Damn, this nigga did it without thinking too hard. Boy, he's cold-blooded. Well, he wouldn't be cold-blooded, but that would make some survivors. Well, that's that. That's the end of The Last of Us. My thoughts on it was that it was a fantastic game. The combat wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was very refined. The main emphasis of the game is the relationship between Joel and Ellie, watching their relationship grow from being strangers to kind of father-daughter type relationship. I would recommend the two of y'all that ain't play this, play it. I don't know why anyone hasn't played it. The game came out at the end of the PS3 lifespan, and the game has been pushed on every fucking Sony console for the past 10 years, almost. So, yeah. That should have been played it. Also, a lot of parts between Ellie and Joel didn't make it into the script because the quick lines dialogue is like icing on top and add more depth to each character. An example of these types of dialogue was the scene with the giraffe. You could have easily walked right past that shit and missed it. But I'm not a fucking monster. So yeah. The ending was a very human ending. It was a greedy, selfish ending. Matter of fact, this quote sums this entire game up best.
Do the ends justify the means? What's more important? The saving lie or the truth?
Well, with that, the video is over. I might do the Left Behind DLC later on, or not. I really don't know what or how I'm going to do it, but it might not get done. It might get done. It might not. So this is my might. It's a my might. We might do it. And with that, the galaxy need me. So I bid you all a farewell.